Okay, so sometimes some of this information, some of these tips can sound very simple, almost too simple for it to actually work. But a lot of the time, things are made way more complicated than they need to be. So when it comes to different types of food, your favorite food and drinks, a big key is creating the right balance. Essentially, getting results, as I said at the beginning on one of the earlier videos, is literally putting in less calories than the body needs. That's the equation. If you can do that for long enough, you will get results. Essentially, it doesn't always, and this is a key too, it doesn't always need to be the healthiest of healthy foods. It's more about the amount that you're having and creating that calorie deficit. That is the single biggest factor. Having said that, it's certainly easier to have certain foods are more filling than others, and I will touch on this in a future video. So I would certainly recommend creating a balance. It's far harder to try and have a very small amount of kind of less nutrient dense foods each day than it is to opt for the more nutrient dense foods, or the more natural foods effectively. So that would certainly be a big part of my advice, is to create, and I've termed it before, the kind of healthy fun balance. It's kind of getting the right balance for you. It's certainly not completely cutting out certain foods. And when I said in terms of simplicity, I learnt this very early on. It still accounts for everything. There is no one food that's going to be your undoing. There's no one food that's led to you gaining weight previously or over time. It's an accumulation of too many calories. That's all it comes down to. So what we're going to try and do here, what I advise you to do, is create a good workable balance for you from the healthy and the fun foods. If you can make the healthy foods fun as well, then you're winning. So find those healthy foods that you would quite look forward to, that you quite enjoy eating. Try and find those, because it'll make this a whole lot easier. But it's just trying to have that moderation. I advise for most people, and you may be able to change this slightly, but I almost kind of a ratio of 80% healthy, 20% fun. You may have to adjust the ratio to yourself there, but and see, and it's very hard to kind of guess what 80/20 is, but it's basically saying everything in moderation. Kind of get to know whether the foods and the amounts that you're having are, is something you can do often, or something you need to kind of keep back for, just that 20% of the time. But find that workable balance for you. Certainly don't forego things. Have those certain, either, during the course of a day, make it a very small amount of the time that you might be just having something you enjoy. Or, and I'm not saying this is the right way, I personally like to kind of wait for the weekend. And again, the weekend is not, it doesn't completely change from one day to the next, but I might just allow myself to, introducing some of those fun foods, or maybe it may be drinks with calories, entirely up to you, but find that workable balance.